Welcome, beautiful souls. You are watching September monthly horoscopes from the brand new Oracle Mystics. I am one man trying to do much, so please don't leave immediately. Instead, jump into the part of this video that you want to watch the most. This is the introduction part. In this intro, I am explaining the structure of this reading. You can skip into the second part directly to your reading. But before that, I want to remind you that you can find my readings in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So if you found this video, but your native language is one of the other two languages I read in, you can find the playlist link in the description box down below. So let's jump right in. Welcome, dear Aries and Aries rising. This September is going to be all about your work life, daily routines, and health. Let's dive into what the stars have in store for you this month. First up, we've got a new moon on September 3rd, and it's bringing some major decision-making energy to your work life. Are you thinking about changing jobs? Have you recently applied for a new position? Maybe you're just itching to shake things up in your current role or make some changes to your daily routine. Whatever it is, this new moon is the perfect time to set those intentions and make those decisions. Now, this new moon is all about creating structure, working methodically, and boosting your efficiency. But here's the catch: Mars will be squaring Neptune right around this time, which could throw a wrench in the works, especially when it comes to communication and business dealings. If you're in sales or any kind of entrepreneurial field, be extra careful. You might be prone to some misleading influences. Keep an eye on your relationships with siblings, relatives, and close friends too. The feedback you get from them might not be entirely accurate, or their problems could spill over into your life. If you're working with others, make sure you're crystal clear about expectations and terms. On September 1st, Uranus goes retrograde in your money house. This planet has been shaking things up in your finances, sometimes bringing in cash, other times watching it fly out the window. The retrograde period is going to highlight where you might be going wrong with your money or where you need to adapt your approach. Pluto also goes retrograde on September 2nd, making its final pass through your career sector. Over the next couple of months, it's going to show you exactly what needs to change in your professional life. Your energy focus shifts on September 4th when Mars enters Cancer. This puts the spotlight on your home and family. You might see more activity in your living space, but be careful. There could be some issues with water in your home. We're talking potential plumbing problems, leaks, or even flooding. Don't let your guard down. Also, try not to be too defensive with your loved ones during this time. It's easy to get a bit prickly, but remember to keep the peace at home. Now mark your calendars for September 18th because we've got a lunar eclipse coming, and it's happening in your area of fate and destiny. Expect the unexpected. You might find yourself in some surprising situations or dealing with sudden revelations. If you've been waiting for news from abroad, it could arrive around this tea. In your work life, this eclipse might bring some disappointments or show you what you need to let go of. It's going to be crucial to take care of your mental health and go with the flow as much as possible. After September 23rd, money matters will take center stage, and from September 22nd, you'll likely find yourself more focused on your relationships. So there you have it, Aries. September is going to be a month of work, home, and self-reflection. Remember to stay flexible and take care of yourself. Wishing you all the best for the month ahead. Welcome, lovely Taurus and Taurus rising. September is shaping up to be quite an interesting month for you. Let's dive into what the stars have in store. This month, you'll find yourself dedicating more time to your love life. But that's not all. You'll also be focusing on your work routine and your creative pursuits. There's a practical energy in the air that's going to help you boost your productivity in these areas. And if you have kids, you'll be paying extra attention to matters concerning them. Right at the start of September, Uranus goes retrograde. If you've been going through some major life changes lately, this is your cue to take a step back and really process everything that's been happening. On September 2nd, Pluto makes its final retrograde in Capricorn. Over the next month and a half to 2 months, you might find yourself dealing with some important restructuring in areas related to travel, education, or international connections. There could be some final decisions to make or situations to handle in these areas. Now let's talk about the new moon on September 3rd. This one's going to shake things up in your love life. You might be making some big decisions, maybe starting a new relationship or even thinking about having a child. If you already have kids, there could be some important decisions to make regarding them. This new moon is also great for your creative endeavors. You might be taking some significant steps in your artistic pursuits or hobbies. If your work is related to your hobbies, you could see some exciting developments there too. It's also a good time for educational matters and sports activities. While this new moon is generally favorable for you, be careful with money matters. Your spending might go through the roof. Also, you might be easily influenced by your close friends and social circle during this time. Be wary of investment tips from friends and watch out for potential conflicts or misunderstandings in your financial dealings with others. On September 4th, your energy focus shifts. You'll be directing more of your attention to your immediate environment, your siblings, relatives, and close friends. It's going to be a busy time socially, but try not to get too defensive with these people. You might be prone to misunderstandings or feeling overly sensitive. On September 18th, there's a lunar eclipse coming. This is going to highlight your social circle and might bring some situations where you need to make sacrifices for your friends. You might find yourself being a shoulder to cry on or going out of your way to help a friend in need. During this time, it's crucial to approach things realistically. You might not be seeing the full picture, so be careful about making any big decisions about your social circle or living situation. On September 22nd, the sun moves into Libra, putting the spotlight on your work life. You'll find yourself being more fair and understanding with your coworkers. And finally, from September 23rd onwards, your focus will shift to your relationships. You'll be spending more quality time with your loved ones and giving them more of your attention. There you have it, Taurus. September is going to be a month of love, creativity, and social connections. Remember to stay grounded and take care of yourself. Wishing you a beautiful month ahead. Welcome, dear Gemini and Gemini rising. September is going to be a month where you're really focusing on your home, family, and your roots. You'll find yourself in frequent contact with relatives, siblings, and people in your immediate circle. Are you thinking about moving, planning a relocation? Maybe you're considering putting your home into urban transformation, or you're looking to buy a property or make an investment. Perhaps you're just planning to buy some new furniture for your place. Or do you have some important decisions to make with your father or family? Well, the new moon on September 3rd is going to speed up these decisions or make you want to make important choices in this area. Remember, decisions made during new moons tend to be correct and long-lasting. So if you have such plans in mind, wait for the new moon and try to take action in the following 15 days. Now, right around this new moon, Mars will be squaring Neptune. This could bring some misleading or disappointing influences in your work conditions and professional life. You might feel eager to act quickly and implement your ideas, but be cautious. There's a risk of being misguided by your boss or someone you know in your work environment. Or you might feel like you're not getting the support you need from your family elders. This could confuse you and hinder you from taking the right steps. Also, during this period, make sure to take extra care of your health. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, putting the spotlight on money matters. You'll be spending your energy on these areas. Expenses related to your home, family, or even your country might be high. Helping others will become important. While your income might increase, your expenses could rise significantly too. You might find yourself in some challenging situations regarding money. For instance, you could become easily offended, especially if you're expecting something from your family elders related to finances. Be mindful of this to avoid potential conflicts or sulking. There's a lunar eclipse on September 18th happening in your career and profession area. This could bring about a dissolution, a resignation, or quitting a job, or some important emotional decisions in your career. There might also be some conflicts between your mother's side and father's side of the family, or some negativity within the family. You might feel that you're being too self-sacrificing in your job and not getting the financial compensation you deserve. You might voice this, but try to avoid negativity and being too sensitive when you do. Dear Gemini, your sacrifices are indeed high, and at the same time, you'll want to look at life with more positive and loving eyes. I hope everything goes as you wish. But let me remind you once again that you shouldn't push the circumstances too much during this period. On September 22nd, the sun moves into Libra. You'll be saying hello to a cycle where you'll devote more time to love. Matters related to your children, love life, sports activities, artistic and creative works will gain importance in your life. After a long time, you might feel much more comfortable. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus will move into Scorpio. This transition will cause you to focus more on relationships in your work environment, professional life, and working conditions. Wishing you a beautiful month, dear Gemini. Welcome, lovely Cancer and Cancer rising. This September is shaping up to be quite a month for you, with a focus on communication and your immediate environment. Let's dive right in. Firstly, you'll find yourself wanting to be more productive and organized in your interactions with your close circle this month. There might be some short-term plans brewing with siblings or relatives, or significant events happening in their lives. If you're more focused on your work life, you could see some important results in areas related to communication, news, transportation, digital platforms, sales, and marketing. We've got a new moon on September 3rd that's lighting up these areas of your life. If you've got new ideas or decisions brewing, wait for this new moon and then feel free to act on them in the following 2 weeks. However, be cautious around this new moon. Mars will be squaring Neptune, which could throw a wrench in any travel plans. You might face visa issues, passport problems, or other travel-related hiccups. If you're waiting on news about your education, there might be some delays. Double check any information you receive during this time. Don't assume everything is sorted without verifying. On September 1st, Uranus is preparing to go retrograde in your house of social circles and friendships. Over the next 4 or 5 months, you'll be reassessing these relationships. Then on September 2nd, Pluto moves its retrograde into Capricorn. This might bring up some final realizations about the major changes you've experienced in your personal relationships since 2009. Things start to pick up on September 4th when Mars enters Cancer. You'll feel your energy returning after a period of possible lethargy. But watch out, you might become more easily offended or withdrawn. Your attitude towards family members could change, and you might find yourself retreating into your shell more often. Be careful in your family relationships during this time. Also, pay attention to your digestive health. Stress might affect your stomach more than usual. Mark your calendar for September 18th. There's a lunar eclipse happening in your area of travel, education, and international connections. This eclipse is in a water sign, which is generally supportive for you as a water sign yourself. However, be wary of potential misconceptions. You might find yourself making extra sacrifices in your educational pursuits, business activities, or helping others. Keep your eyes open. A lot will be happening around you, and while it might be challenging, it has the potential to benefit you in the long run. As we near the end of the month, the Sun moves into Libra on September 22nd. This shift will have you focusing more on family matters and your home environment. Then on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio, potentially spicing up your love life and bringing out a more possessive side in your relationships. Remember, Cancer, while there might be some challenges this month, there's also a lot of potential for growth and positive change. Stay open to the possibilities and trust your intuition. Wishing you a beautiful September. Welcome, Leo and Leo Rising. September is shaping up to be a month where financial matters will be at the forefront of your mind. You'll be assessing how productive, creative, and practical you are in this area and making important decisions and adjustments accordingly. On September 3rd, we've got a new moon coming up. This is the perfect time to make any financial decisions you've been considering. Are you looking to grow your money, planning an investment, thinking of making a purchase? Or maybe you need to discuss a money matter. There could even be an increase in your commercial activities. This new moon is all about these financial themes, so use the energy of this day and the following 15 days to implement important changes in your monetary life. However, be cautious around September 3rd as Mars will be squaring Neptune. This aspect suggests you need to be careful with financial matters involving friends. You might find yourself dealing with money issues between friends or helping out friends who are facing financial difficulties in their careers. Keep your eyes open to offer the right kind of help. If you're investing in any area, especially around September 3rd, be extra careful. For example, if you're investing in the stock market or dealing with foreign currency, proceed with caution. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, which might lead to a few months where you struggle to use your energy effectively. You might face some issues with international matters or travel-related topics. If you're waiting for news, your reactions to it will be important. During this time, you might find it hard to get out of bed or struggle to find your direction in life. Be aware that there's a higher potential for people to talk behind your back or scheme against you. However, this period can be important for reaching the conclusion of a task or legal matter, so use this time wisely in that regard. Don't be your own enemy and be prepared for some sensitivity and dwelling on the past. There's a lunar eclipse on September 18th in your area of shared finances. This puts the spotlight on your partner's financial matters, but it's not just about them. This area also represents your own debts and payments. Things like loans, taxes, and interest-related issues become important. You might feel inclined to help a loved one financially, or they might surprise you with generous offers or gifts. You could also find yourself dealing with inheritance or alimony matters. Be careful not to be overly sacrificial, understanding, or dreamy when it comes to financial matters during this time. Try to stay realistic and don't panic or make hasty investment decisions based on what you hear. On September 22nd, the Sun moves into Libra, energizing your communication sector. You'll enjoy being more fair, honest, and social with your relatives, siblings, and people you communicate with regularly. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio, which might kick off some important renovation or redecoration projects. You might also find yourself dealing with real estate matters, buying, selling, renting, or relocating. Home improvements and repairs could become a focus. Wishing you a beautiful month ahead, dear Leo. Welcome, dear Virgo and Virgo rising. September is shaping up to be quite an important month for you. Let's dive into what the stars have in store. The month kicks off with a new moon on September 3rd, and it's all about you. This new moon is going to energize every aspect of your life and the decisions you're making. It's time to take a good look at how you're managing your life. Are you being productive? What are you doing for yourself and your health? There might be a lot going on in your personal life, and this new moon is asking you to consider how all of this is affecting your well-being. This new moon is perfect for setting intentions about your work conditions, physical health, and any important decisions for the coming period. If you've been sitting on plans or ideas, now's the time to put them into action. However, be cautious around September 3rd. Mars will be squaring Neptune, which could cause some confusion in your relationships. People who are supposed to be helping you might actually be misleading you. You might face some disappointments in your personal life, but try not to let these affect your decisions too much. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, shifting your energy focus to your social circle. You might find yourself being more protective of your friends, but also more easily offended in group settings. Be mindful of this to avoid unnecessary conflicts. Mark your calendar for September 18th. There's a lunar eclipse happening in your relationship sector. This could bring some emotional decisions about your partnerships to the forefront. Have you fallen in love? Are you considering some big relationship decisions? Or are there aspects of your relationship where you feel you're sacrificing too much? This eclipse will bring all of these issues into sharp focus. Just be careful not to lose touch with reality during this time. You might receive some news that upsets you, or you might tend to see the glass as half empty. At the same time, you might be longing for messages of love and appreciation from your partner. This eclipse could bring a mix of confusion, uncertainty, and the need for sacrifice in your relationships. And this applies to business partnerships too. As we near the end of the month, the sun moves into Libra on September 22nd, putting the spotlight on your finances. You might find yourself spending more on beautiful things or working to balance your budget. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio, which could bring your relationships with siblings, relatives, and your immediate environment into focus. Remember, Virgo, while there might be some challenges this month, there's also a lot of potential for growth and positive change. Stay grounded, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to prioritize your well-being. Wishing you a beautiful September. Welcome, dear Libra and Libra rising. This month might be a bit tiring for you. Why? Because everything seems to be settling into your karmic subconscious area. This gives you opportunities to make plans, to find your own corner, to avoid crowded places. But if your job involves a lot of face-to-face interaction with people, this period might be particularly exhausting for you. There's a new moon on September 3rd, but unlike other signs, this new moon won't be supporting you in taking action or seizing big opportunities. You might receive important news related to foreign affairs, or you might feel drawn to subconscious work, mystical, and spiritual topics. If you're working on behind-the-scenes projects like writing a scenario or a book, you might be able to establish some order in these areas. However, for big decisions like changing your home, changing your job, getting married, or having a child, you won't have much support. It might be better to wait a bit longer for these. On September 1st, Uranus began its retrograde motion, leading you into a period of reassessing financial matters. Then on September 2nd, Pluto will go retrograde in your home and family area. Over the next month and a half until November, you'll be facing final tests in these areas. Significant changes and transformations in your family life might come up one last time, offering important experiences. Mars moves into Cancer on September 4th. In public settings and in your career, you might find yourself acting with defensive and combative energies. But this isn't about immediate retaliation. It's more about passive-aggressive behaviors, especially in your relationships with bosses or in public settings. Your relationship with your mother might also face some strain during this time. There's a lunar eclipse on September 18th happening in your area of daily routine, work conditions, and health. Health matters will become important during this period. It might be wise to stay away from infectious diseases if possible. Pay attention to your feet, hormonal system, and sugar intolerance. It's a time to strengthen your immune system. In your work life, you might find yourself being overly understanding and compassionate towards people you work with or those who help you. Your intuition will be working well, but being too accommodating and considerate of others might lead to some disappointments or tensions. The Sun enters Libra on September 22nd, and after this date, health-related issues will start to fade. Your self-confidence will return, and you'll feel more in control of your life, making better decisions. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus moves into Scorpio, bringing important steps in financial matters. Wishing you a beautiful month ahead, dear Libra. Welcome Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This month is shaping up to be quite active for your social circle. Get ready for organizational tasks, invitations, activities, and launches. You might also be planning some business ventures or vacations with your social group. There could be important decisions to make regarding income from your work. The new moon on September 3rd will be activating important decisions and new beginnings related to relocation and social circles. If you're thinking about moving to a new place, joining a new party, NGO, or group, wait for this new moon and then make your move. However, be cautious around September 3rd as Mars will be squaring Neptune. This aspect warns you to be extra careful with financial matters. As Mars is your ruler, this square with Neptune could make you careless about expenses related to your love life, children, or entertainment. Your potential for being deceived is high, so keep your eyes wide open, especially regarding money matters. Uranus began its retrograde on September 1st in your area of partnerships and personal life. This might give you a chance to process the sudden, unexpected changes it has been bringing to these areas. You might notice things slowing down a bit here. On September 2nd, Pluto also goes retrograde, making its final pass through Capricorn in your communication sector. Over the next month and a half, it might bring up necessary changes in your relationships with your immediate environment. Mars moves into Cancer on September 4th, shifting your energy focus to travel, education, foreign connections, and commercial activities. You might act energetically imbalanced in matters related to foreign affairs. Be mindful of potential touchiness, sulking, aggression, or defensive behaviors in media and social media interactions. Mark your calendar for September 18th. There's a lunar eclipse in your house of love. You might find yourself on cloud 9 in your love life, potentially putting someone on a pedestal. You might be making important decisions about reuniting with someone after a long time. This eclipse also supports decisions about having children, and it highlights your creative and artistic endeavors. Just be careful to manage any tensions between your social circle and your love life during this time. The Sun enters Libra on September 22nd, starting a period where you might prefer to retreat to your own corner and approach things from a more mysterious angle. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus moves into Scorpio. This will start to accelerate your social life, and you might focus more on personal care, self-improvement, and beautification, including some shopping. Wishing you a beautiful month ahead, dear Scorpio. Welcome Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This month, your career and professional life are taking center stage. You might have some important decisions to make in your career this month. Are you looking for a promotion? Have you earned a bonus? Do you need to showcase yourself in your work life? The new moon on September 3rd is perfect for putting your important decisions into action in your work environment. This could include job changes, career advancements, asking for a raise or promotion, or even decisions about your public image, including marriage or relocation. Remember, a new moon means new beginnings, new decisions being implemented, and new seeds being planted. So these areas of your life are ready for fresh starts. However, on the same day, Mars will be squaring Neptune. This could mean that just as you're focusing on your job and making a breakthrough in your career or public image, your personal life might not be as supportive. Your expectations from your loved one might be too high, and you could face a small disappointment. Alternatively, you might witness your partner struggling significantly with their family or work conditions. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, affecting your shared finances area. This suggests you'll have high expenses related to your home and family. You might also be more sensitive when discussing financial matters with your partner. If there's no urgency, be careful about surgeries during this period. Stay away from dangerous people or places and don't try to protect anyone. It could lead to trouble. Uranus is retrograding in your work and health sector from September 1st. This gives you a chance to review your work conditions over the next 4-5 months. If there have been changes in your work life, you'll have an opportunity to adjust to these changes. Pluto goes retrograde on September 2nd, moving back into your money house. Over the next month and a half, you'll be testing your power when it comes to financial matters. You'll be assessing whether you're directing your money correctly and making the right moves regarding your earnings. There's a lunar eclipse on September 18th in your home and family sector. You might find yourself being more sacrificial, understanding, and loving towards your home and family. Your imagination might be more active in home environments, and you could find yourself working more from home. However, you might realize you're not being realistic about something, especially if you're considering buying a property, making home-related ventures, or relocating. Conflicts between parents or family members might also be on your agenda. Be sure to boost your immune system at home, as you might be more susceptible to illnesses. On September 22nd, the sun moves into Libra, energizing your social circle. You'll be seeing your friends more often. Then, on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio, which might make you want to withdraw a bit from important matters. Remember, Sagittarius, while there are challenges this month, there are also opportunities for growth and positive change. Stay focused on your goals, but don't neglect your personal life and health. Wishing you a beautiful September. Welcome, Capricorn and Capricorn rising. This month is shaping up to be quite active for you in areas of travel, education, international connections, commercial activities, and future-oriented projects. You'll feel the urge to be productive and efficient, wanting to work through systematic structures. The new moon on September 3rd in Virgo is perfect for you to set up systems, increase efficiency, and make things more productive. If you're involved in international business, working with foreigners, or engaged in import-export activities, legal matters, you can expect more systematic and well-planned work. This new moon will activate important decisions in these areas. It's a great time to accelerate your future plans, especially in education. However, be cautious on September 3rd as Mars squares Neptune. Pay attention to your relationships with coworkers. You might witness some of your colleagues going through difficult times, or you could experience disappointments or problems in your work relationships. During this period, avoid getting into arguments and don't push people too hard. The energies will be intense in your life. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, putting the spotlight on your partnerships and personal life. You'll be channeling your energy into relationships and joint ventures. You might feel a strong urge to protect, nurture, and pour all your energy into your loved one. However, be careful. Your partner might not perceive your intentions as you intend. Try to avoid being overly sensitive, sulky, or passive-aggressive. If you have a business partner, you might surprise them with your behavior, as you're likely to be more sensitive than usual. Mark your calendar for September 18th. There's a partial lunar eclipse in your communication sector. This eclipse will bring emotional decisions for those working in sales, marketing, advertising, digital platforms, transportation, radio, TV, or any form of communication. You might see some events or sacrifices involving your siblings or relatives. In your education, you might realize you've overlooked some details. Around September 21st, things should become clearer for you. Be cautious of people in both your immediate and wider circles potentially misleading you during this time. If you're using social media, don't believe everything you see, hear, read, or write. Always question reality first. The sun enters Libra on September 22nd, putting the focus on your career and professional life for the next month. You'll be giving more importance to your career and job-related activities. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus moves into Scorpio, highlighting your social circle and friendships. You'll be spending more time with your loved ones and friends during this period. Remember, Capricorn, your strength lies in building, establishing, and setting up systems. Use this energy wisely this month. Wishing you a beautiful September. Welcome, dear Aquarius and Aquarius rising. September is shaping up to be a month where shared finances will be a hot topic. If you have any pending financial matters, you'll be taking action to complete them. For instance, if you've been waiting for a long time for money to arrive, you might see movement on this front. If you're married, you might find yourself dealing with your partner's financial issues as well. There's a new moon on September 3rd that could bring important decisions regarding taxes, alimony payments, debts, bank transactions, and inheritance matters. You can use this new moon energy to accelerate your financial dealings and implement decisions you've made. Whether you want to take action on an alimony issue, open a case related to inheritance, ask someone for a loan, or apply for credit, all these matters can gain momentum around this new moon. At the same time, if you have an interest in mysterious or occult subjects, you might start a course in these areas or find yourself more drawn to these topics with this new moon. However, be cautious on September 3rd as Mars will be squaring Neptune. This aspect underlines the need for care in financial matters. If you're investing in the stock market, you might be under misleading influences. There could be both stalling energies and deceptive effects at play. If you have children, pay attention to their behaviors during this time. There might be some actions you can't quite understand. Also, be careful with expenses related to your love life, children, and entertainment. Avoid highly speculative and risky ventures, especially at the beginning of this month. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, energizing your work environment. You'll be channeling more of your energy into your work life, daily routines, and health-related matters. Mars in Cancer can make the stomach area sensitive. Be aware of potential issues with the chest area, abdominal organs including the gallbladder, pancreas, spleen, lungs, and stomach. Problems like gastritis, ulcers, or skin issues might arise. Mars will be here for quite a while, so try to avoid being overly sensitive towards your coworkers or business partners. Also, work on strengthening your immune system during this period. There's a lunar eclipse on September 18th in your money house. You might receive a significant amount of money, but be prepared for this money to potentially go towards another payment or expense. Or, while your financial conditions are improving, your partner might face financial difficulties, which could dampen your enjoyment of your improved finances. Don't let it get you down too much. Money is coming in, but you need to keep your eyes open in financial matters. Be cautious of being overly sacrificial or thoughtful, as it might lead to receiving less money than you deserve. On September 22nd, the Sun moves into Libra, which could accelerate your travel plans. You might receive important news from abroad or start to speed up your future plans. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio. This transition will put more focus on relationships in your career and work environment. You'll want to progress by building the right connections. Wishing you a beautiful month ahead, dear Aquarius. Welcome, dear Pisces and Pisces rising. September is shaping up to be a month focused on relationships, joint ventures, and making all your relationships more productive. It's a time to discuss and improve every type of relationship in your life and progress systematically. The new moon on September 3rd is perfect for making important decisions about relationships. Are you starting a new relationship, ending one, or taking an existing relationship to the next level? This new moon supports actions like getting engaged, meeting your partner's family, or defining a new relationship. For married Pisces, you might focus on your spouse's life, their decisions, and long-term plans you'll make together. If you're considering moving, living abroad, or making important decisions in joint businesses, implement these with this new moon. However, be cautious as Mars squares Neptune on the same day. While new beginnings are supported, you might not have much support in matters related to home and family. If you're dealing with real estate transactions, renting, or home renovations, you might face some disappointments. The energy isn't flowing right in these areas. You might also find that male family elders aren't providing the support you expected. It might be wiser to wait until after this period to make decisions about your personal life, rather than consulting family and loved ones now. On September 4th, Mars moves into Cancer, energizing your love life. You'll be channeling your energy into your children, love life, and loved ones. Creative and artistic pursuits might gain importance, but be careful to avoid being overly sensitive, sulky, or playing hard to get. Sensitivity could be your biggest enemy during this time. Uranus will be retrograde in your communication sector from September 1st, giving you time to process the changes and transformations in your immediate environment. On September 2nd, Pluto moves back into Capricorn, potentially bringing up some final important structures and events in your social circle and friendships that need to be dealt with over the next month and a half. On September 18th, there's a lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is particularly significant for you, affecting your personal life, health matters, physical appearance, and future plans. You'll be making important decisions about your life. If there's disappointment or problems in your relationship, this eclipse will remind you to focus on yourself and do things for yourself. You might clearly see the need to let go of certain things. You'll invest more in yourself and increase your sacrifices. You might be very emotional and cry a lot during this eclipse. Be careful with your feet area, watch out for sugar intolerance, and be mindful of hormonal changes. Issues with mucus and secretion systems might occur. Also, be cautious of feverish and microbial diseases, especially upper respiratory tract infections. On September 22nd, the Sun moves into Libra, putting focus on your shared finances for the next month. You can concentrate on your earnings and balance your income and expenses. Finally, on September 23rd, Venus enters Scorpio. A trip might come back on the agenda, or you might start preparing for a trip or for news coming from far away. Remember, Pisces, this month brings opportunities for personal growth and relationship developments. Stay attuned to your emotions, but don't let sensitivity overwhelm you. Take care of your health, especially around the eclipse time. Wishing you a beautiful September. If you found value in today's reading, please subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos. And hey, you're not alone in this. This community we're building here is full of amazing souls just like you, all supporting each other. So don't be shy. Share your thoughts, your experiences, your questions in the comments. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Remember, the future isn't set in stone. You have the power to shape it. Trust yourself. Take those baby steps and know that the universe has your back. Until next time, beautiful souls, keep shining your light and hope to see you soon.